Hey there, everyone. How's my caregivers, my mom's dad caregivers, whoever's a caregiver out there? Good morning. How you doing? And if you've been following me, you know that I'm going to be holding a master class entitled Mastering the Art of Reading Food Labels. And at that class, we're going to be decoding food labels like a pro, because everything that's on the label is not necessarily in the food, or it's not shown on the label, but it's in the food. So we need to make healthy food choices, because the consumption of processed foods is killing people, and it's increasing diabetes, high blood pressure, all types of chronic health issues from eating this processed foods. So I'm going to show you how to decode these labels. But you may say, yeah, okay, fine. Everybody's talking about stop eating processed foods, but how do you do it? What do you eat? Who has the time, right? Well, you have a few options, right? I know someone who only eats out because they don't cook. They may cook twice every 2 weeks. They don't cook, right? So they eat out, but they find healthy places, restaurants, and they get whole foods. They eat vegan, and they get foods that are not packaged. They go to places that actually prepare the food from Whole Foods, and they look up what's in it so they know what's in it and have you. And that's how they eat, because they have the money to do that. But what if you don't have the money to do that? Well, you can get, and say you don't cook. You can get pre-cut vegetables, packaged salads, packaged vegetables, and you can work with that to get your healthy foods and avoid the processed foods. You can even order you some rice. You can buy pre-cooked rice from the restaurant and then put your pre-cut vegetables. There's a lot of creative ways you can do it, and so you can do it that way. Or you can, I'm gonna keep it real, stop making excuses and make your food. Now, if you don't know how to cook, that's a whole different thing, because nobody is born knowing how to cook, right? It takes time, it takes practice. So you may not know how to cook. So when I say no excuses, but in some ways, you gotta come on and learn how to cook. So, just joking, but you do need to cook, especially now with things they're putting in the food. You have to cook, okay? And sometimes say, oh, it's too consumed time. I don't have the time. Well, I'm gonna be real, and again, I'm saying it's really an excuse, because we have the time. We need to make the time. We need to do some math here, add and subtract, make some sacrifices. Maybe subtract that time from doing things that you want to do, and adding that to things you need to do, and you'll be able to find the time. It's just being creative. Now, I just wanted to illustrate that it really doesn't take a lot of time. So say you don't like cutting your onions and your peppers. I should get a pepper. I'm gonna go get the rest of the pepper after. So we're gonna time how long it takes to cut an onion and a pepper, and see if you really don't have time. Okay? Let me get my pepper. Okay, I used this part of this pepper yesterday, so I'm just gonna do half the pepper. So what I want you to do, let me put this down. Okay, I don't know if you can see my board. Oh, this, what do you call these things? Just won't behave. Maybe if I tighten that up. Oh, you see what I'm saying? It will not stay. Maybe I have to put it lower. Let me put it lower. Okay, I'm gonna take it off this stand that I had it on, and let's put this lower. See what happens. It'll stay up. Okay. All right. So I have an onion and I have a pepper. Okay. So I want you guys. I'm gonna take the part off. I'm just gonna take this out here. Well, that's part of the cutting, right? So I should have timed that. Okay, so we're gonna time it. So I want you guys to time me. I have 9:30, so here we go. I'm gonna dice up this pepper. Now, this isn't the professional way to do it, but I went to school, I learned the professional way, but that's the rebel in me. I'm still doing it my own way. Okay, so here we go. Like that. Okay, we got our pepper. Now let's do our onion. Now this is not the right way to do it either. So this is what I like to do because it's easier for me. I don't think there's no such thing. Well, I mean, I guess if you're going to be a chef at a restaurant or something, there is a right way to do it. But you cooking at home, do your thing. Okay, so say I rinse this off. Now, I don't need the whole onion. I'll do the whole onion. Okay, we're timing. You're timing me now, right? So I'm going to just chop this here up. Let's say I want to dice it. You want to dice because you want to cut your vegetables the same size when you're cooking them so they cook evenly. So I'm just dicing this up like this. Okay, I'm going to dice the rest of this. Okay. Okay, y'all timing me, right? Let's dice this up. Okay. It's a little sloppy. But, you know, sometimes the sloppy food is the best food. Okay, so I chopped up this onion. Took me 2 minutes. I got peppers and onions. Okay, that is usually the base of whatever you're cooking. So I'm just gonna put this thing back up. One second. Let's get this together. So that is usually the base of what you're cooking, right? When you start off something, you usually start with your peppers, your onions, and then you saute them. Of course, we like to use no oil, so you saute them in your broth or your water, your dry wine. So 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Now you're gonna tell me you don't have 2 minutes? So here you got this, and say maybe you put some mushroom in there, some snap peas, rinse them off. You throw that and saute that, throw that over some rice or some pasta. The pasta, you water boil, you put the pasta in there, poof, rinse it. Rice, you rinse it off, put it in there. So, to say you don't have time, do you really not have time, or is that the story you're telling yourself? You ever know someone who's always telling this story about their situation, why they can't do this, can't do that, right? And you looking at them and say, you know, why can't you do it? But they tell themselves the story so much that they begin to believe it. And they think that they can't do it because you keep telling yourself the same story. You have to change your mindset, your story, what you're telling yourself, that you don't have time to cook. Even if you don't know how to cook, you can just chop that thing up like that and put it. And I'm going to tell you this. You know the way, well, I did go to culinary school, but I had family members. You know, I was married, I had kids. So I had to cook. You know how to cook? Buying cookbooks, reading recipes, and following recipes. That's how I became being able to cook. I still follow recipes sometimes. That's how you learn how to cook. It's written in right there. So really, we don't have excuses because our health is just it's such a priority that we take care of our health, especially if we take care of someone or our children. We need to really prioritize our health because other than God, that is the primary. Without your health, we can't do anything else. And we put everything else before our health. And so, you know, this processed food that is being thrown at us all the time, we really need to make some changes. Go try to eat some whole food. Get that whole food in you because that is where the medicine is. That's what's going to keep you healthy, right? And so at this masterclass, we're going to be learning how to read food labels because sometimes you do need some processed food, right? Because if you're coming home late at night from work, you're not going to sit up here and make foods from scratch. You're going to make your pasta, get some tomatoes and peel them and chop them and let it simmer for a couple of hours. You're not going to do all of that, right? Sometimes you need to buy some processed food, but you want to get minimally processed food, as minimally processed as possible, to avoid all of the excess salt, oil, and sugar and added chemicals. And I'm telling you, just getting rid of all of that stuff, you're going to see a major improvement in your health. Of course, you need to get rid of those meds too. Meds, meat, eggs, dairy, and seafood. That's why it's called meds, because you eat that stuff, you're going to be on meds. And SOS, so oil and sugar, waving that flag, waving for help, because it's just, we need to make some sacrifices. We need to return our palate to its original state. A lot of times now they have all these different weight loss drugs because they say people can't lose the weight. They can't do it. And it's because what's in the food. The food is designed, the chemicals put in it to keep you coming back for more. You never feel satiated, so you're constantly eating it over and over. The sugar, the excess sugar and salt. This is why they can't do it on their own. And you know what? It's a process. You got to go through withdrawal. You got this pain before pleasure. So, you know, sometimes we don't want to deal with the pain that comes with changing something, making changes. Sometimes it comes with pain, with sacrifice. Sometimes we don't want to do it. So, with that being said, you guys, please come to the masterclass and learn how to read these food labels, because we think we know how to read them. I'm telling you, there's stuff on there that you don't even see and know. And so join me on Wednesday, March 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are going to dissect these labels, and we're going to get it together, and we're going to improve our health. So join me. The link is in the description, and that is where you can register. So guys, I'm being tough today. Stop making excuses. Now, some of us, we are dealing with debilitating illness. Some of us are dealing with debilitating depression. So some of us, we're dealing with some really heavy stuff. We need support. We need help moving forward. And as a coach, if you do need help, I'm here for you. But some of these people, I'm not going to say, oh, stop making excuses. But for us who are, you know, don't have this situation, stop making excuses and stop stalling. Because the longer we stall, we keep waiting and waiting and waiting till boom, then the situation, you know, becomes dire, becomes serious. You don't want to keep putting it off and waiting. What are you waiting for? Come on now. So join me on Wednesday, March 19th, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to master the art of reading food labels. All right? You know what you got to do? Have an intentional, amazing day on purpose.